Hi everybody, this is Sarah and Donna from Rainbow Resource Center. We're curriculum consultants and we work with homeschoolers all the time. And a lot of you are finding yourselves at home, very unusual situation, and making the best of it. And we've curated some materials to add what your teachers would do in the classroom and just add some richness. You know, the videos are great, but sometimes you want more interaction than that. And today we're going to talk about the pre-Ks because I have a friend with twin 3-year-olds and she was so just happy with her teacher and is like, how am I ever going to replicate any of this at home? And she was just scared of teaching the little kids and, you know, how can I do this? So we've got some stuff here. And Donna used to teach pre-K.
I was a preschool teacher, but I also have a 3-year-old grandson. And a lot of what you're going to see here today are things that I've bought or will be buying for my grandkids, or I've used from when I taught preschool.
And we have art supplies and, you know, toys and things like that. But we're really going for that rich factor that those teachers, you know, work really hard to do. And a lot of parents are going to do this intuitively, but some of you just need some help. How do I do what they were doing?
And I would say for you veteran homeschool moms, you've been doing this. And so some of it, maybe we can just give you a new idea. It's like we all need some new suggestions.
We need novelty this time of year because, you know, homeschool families don't stay home. That might blow some people's minds. They're missing out on a lot of
They're missing their co-ops. They're missing their groups that they get together with.
Library.
Charter schools.
Field trips.
Exactly. Yeah. They can't go anywhere either. So this is for all of you.
It's for everybody, just to interject some newness and some richness and some cool stuff that maybe you haven't seen. We thought we'd start with alphabet stuff. So what do you have, Donna?
Well, I have Melissa and Doug. Everybody knows that name, Melissa and Doug. This is their alphabet puzzle, and yes, I've already bought this one. But underneath each letter, and you can kind of see it right here in the O's, these are the upper and lowercase A through Z. And underneath is a picture of something that starts with that letter.
Oh, fun.
And so here we have the capital O, and there's an octopus underneath there. And then here's a lowercase o, and I believe that's an owl. That's just a little sneak peek there. But this has been a big hit at my son's house for his little guy.
So dump them out, mix them all up.
Exactly. Or if you have a child who's maybe not ready to be doing that yet, because you're talking early childhood. So if you have a child not ready to do that yet, maybe leave the uppercase letter and take out just the lowercase and let them match it. Nice or idea. Vice versa. Also talk to them about the sounds that they hear when they put it in. So when I do O for octopus, it's ah. What sound does this shape make? It makes an ah. So there are a lot of ways you can use this other than just dumping it out and putting them back in.
Oh, come on. That's a fun thing to do,
But puzzles are a great learning tool. I love this.
Visual discrimination, fine motor, little phonics in there.
Now, for the ones that are a little more ready to do workbooks, Explode the Code, and a lot of you will be already familiar with Explode the Code. Explode the Code's been around for years. It's very focused phonics practice. So you have get ready, get set, and go for the code. These are the early learning levels, and they each cover a set of letters in order. They don't do it out of order, so this is going to give you practice like what I was just talking about with the puzzle, but in a workbook. And so you'll have everything on this page will start with a certain letter. Like here's a kangaroo and a key and a kite. Gosh, what letter are we talking about? So if you have a child who likes to do workbook activities, these are great, and they're a great precursor to where you'll go next in the series, which is just Explode the Code series. And Explode the Code, like I said, been around for years. This one comes from Educators Publishing Service, school specialty. So a lot of the teachers have heard of that one.
Right.
And I know these are another one that I used.
And while they are very open and go, there's a teacher guide for these 3 books. So if you just want a little more guidance, maybe you're not sure.
And it's one book for all 3 of these books. So it's not like you have to buy a teacher guide to go with every one. It's not like a huge investment. So.
Yeah, Explode the Code. That's our top selling program is Explode the Code Phonics. So.
Which would make sense because you can use it at any grade level.
It's so versatile.
Any child who's having difficulty, even not just the little ones. So.
I've got a really cute phonics.
Oh, yours is cute.
Okay. Mine's really, not that those aren't cute. I mean, workbooks are cute in their own special little way. the Vowel Owls. I love this thing. We take this to conventions. So these are like little cups with the vowels on them. And then inside are some tiles. And the tiles have photograph pictures, not just illustrations. So they're real photos. So you might have an apple on the photo, something kids really recognize very easily. And we were talking earlier, you could do some other really cute things with these cups too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know.
Use them for sorting.
Color sorting. Donna's got some cute little manipulatives. We'll give you a sneak peek.
So, yeah, this is a jump ahead, but
Yeah.
these are little people counters. They're called family counters, and they come in the same colors because they're made by the same. So they're made by the same
couldn't help
company.
myself.
So even though they're Vowel Owls,
Yeah.
you could use them for math sorting, color sorting. I
Yeah,
guess.
and kids, it's very self-explanatory. Kids know what to do. They can do it themselves. It's a good thing if you're helping a middle schooler with some harder homework. This would be something you could give the little folks to do without any extra big folks.
Oh, sure.
Well, I've got another alphabet.
Oh, okay.
Can I squeeze it in?
Oh, sure.
So this is a little two-piece puzzle. And, we look at two-piece puzzles and go, what's the big deal? But there's a lot of skills involved in getting that
Exactly.
matching.
Let's match up the letter with the first sound of that picture because kids need to learn that there's a beginning, an end, and a middle sound. And this focuses on that beginning sound,
Right.
which just helps them sequence the word in their head.
And on these, you've got the letters and the photo image. Again, I love it when they use photos. I just think it adds a little
and
more
I know that's for some of you
realism.
teachers,
Yeah.
again, you know that's one of the standards is to use photos instead
Yeah.
of animated illustrations.
So these, when you flip them over, you've got the letters and then the word spelled out as well.
So
So
this
a
is good
little
for
beyond.
older
So good
kids,
for the
yeah.
little bitties and the middle bitties. What do we call them? I don't know.
Those
The middle
kids,
bitties.
the ones that already know this is the next step.
That's your next step. So you're getting a couple levels
Exactly.
of good out of one little product.
Exactly. Well, I don't have any more alphabet products. Well, I do have some things. This will be our transition here. They're trace workbooks, so you don't have to go out and buy another one when they write in it. You just wipe it off and you start all over again. But there's one for uppercase alphabet, and then there's one for math, so one for numbers,
Yeah.
and one for tracing. So if you have a younger one who needs some help with some motor skill control, this is great. But see how they're practicing the curved lines and the different lines that you'll
lay
use
flat.
in letter making. Yes, and they lay flat. They use a dry erase marker on them,
Which comes in there.
and
It's down
the
in the
dry
middle.
erase marker allows them to use it, wipe it off, let them do it again.
Yep.
And kids can do this on their own. They don't have to have mom
Yeah.
supervise them on something
Right.
like this, but they're getting good practice. So
Good practice,
Don't
so-
tell them it's fun.
It's like sneaking veggies in the meatloaf or
Exactly,
something,
that's
isn't it?
exactly
It's like, oh, don't tell me it's good for me and I'll eat it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I've got something else on the counting.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we'll talk about some fine
Well, and
motor
I
stuff.
have another counting thing too. So go
All
ahead.
right. This I think is so cute. It's a little cookie jar with cookies.
Oh, okay.
And they're chocolate chip cookies. And each one, so if there's 5 chocolate chips, there's a 5 on the back of the cookie. The 5 is indented so they can trace it with their finger. The chips are
Okay.
raised, very sensory. They're putting it in there. And then I
Okay.
think, the double duty is use that play money from that other video we just did and sell cookies.
Yeah,
Bring,
there
bring
you
me
go.
a cookie with 6 chips. Bring me a cookie with 3 chips. I'd like a cookie with 1 chip. I'm not
Exactly.
feeling chocolatey today. I only
There you
want
go.
1 chip. So really cute. Counting cookies, 13-piece set. And this is for ages 2 and up. So nothing choky or anything to worry about there. And just a good addition to your play.
And
your
that
pretend
cookie
play.
jar is adorable.
I know, it'd be cute like on a little kitchen scene,
Oh,
a little
definitely.
kitchen set or a grocery store type thing too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
really,
agree.
really cute.
Oh, I like that.
And that's again learning resources. They make some
Learning
really
resources
fun
is
pre-K
good.
stuff.
Okay, so again, our counters. So you hear in math all the time, it'll say use counters. What's nice about this is you have all the characters of the family. I lost one of mine, I think.
It's in the Vowel Owl.
Oh, it's in the Vowel Owls. She took my purse.
they
in.
match.
But we
Yeah.
even have cats and dogs in here. Mom, dad, boy, girl, baby.
There's
And they
girl.
come in the different colors that match the Vowel Owls if
Yeah.
you want to go that route. But these are great for, especially when you're learning colors and grouping, and like you want to make a pattern, for example, blue, green, red, what would come next? If I repeated this and I took out
Blue.
a blue.
Wasn't sure
I
where
did
you were
open-
going with that.
Yep, if I put another blue, it doesn't matter what person it is, I put a blue, what will come next after blue? It's going to be green, then red. Patterning is something that's worked on in kindergarten, first grade levels.
Why?
Well, because it's really important for math purposes. It's what, back in the old days, we called it pre-math skills.
Okay.
I don't know that they call it that anymore.
Back in
So
the old
these
days,
are great. These are just a fun alternative to just plain old
Or teddy
counters.
bears or the
Yeah,
squares, I think
exactly.
you could also use these for some social skills. I know Janice, one of the other consultants, bought these for her grandson, and he didn't count them. He played with them. Like
So
were
they
little
became
people.
his little people.
Yes, they became little people toys.
Too
So
funny.
double duty. When you're done with the counting, now you've got some little
Exactly.
characters.
And never forget dot to dots. Dot to dots have been around forever.
As long as there have been dots.
Yeah, as long as there have been dots and numbers. But these are intended for the little ones. And so enhance or just supplement or enrich their math curriculum by adding in a fun dot to dot, and then they can color the picture when they're finished. Now, and you'll notice this is like 0 to 10, so we're not talking complicated. 0 to 20, 0 to 25, 0 to 30,
So
0
they
to
get
50.
success, right? And then they graduate and they go, give me something harder, give me something harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good number practice. I love dot to dots for number practice. My mother-in-law used to do dot to dots. Even in her 70s.
Oh, wow.
Much more difficult than this, but she started out doing them when she was a kid. And so she ended up doing some of the world's famous ones.
Oh, we have some
yeah.
like crazy hard dot
High-end,
to dots.
difficult dot to dots, and that's what my mother-in-law used
My
to do.
eyes just go blurry
Yep,
when I look at
exactly.
them. They're
So this is a
big.
good start.
Yeah,
It's, even though dot to dots are fun, it's good
Yeah,
number practice
it
too.
is. Sequencing, okay. So on the fine motor skills set, lacing cards. Now, why are lacing cards important? First of all, you've seen these, but these are not your mother's lacing cards. We can say these have a lot of cute designs because sometimes, it's not the most exciting thing to do to sit there and do that
Oh, gosh, no.
sewing type motion. So when you've got a cute design and you let kids pick the design, they're gonna have way more fun if they, I wanna do the rooster today, or I wanna do the car or the puppy.
How about a shark? This one will appeal to those little boys. I have a grandson that will absolutely love this.
Yeah. So that little fine motor skill, that pinching motion, is really good for building those pencil writing, the handwriting muscles. And the lacing cards, they're quiet, which we're all a little grateful for quiet things these days.
Oh, definitely.
For
I
sure,
will
why
agree.
not?
Well, and on the note of fine motor skills, scissor skills. Scissor skills are part of that because fine motor is what allows them to be able to open and close and cut that paper the right way and hold the scissors the right
It's
way.
a lot of control to use scissors.
Exactly. And so again, learning resources, that's exactly what this is. It's just called scissor skills, and it comes with this little plastic pair of scissors in here, which they're safe enough, but if you feel confident, you could let your child loose with a pair of
I think
kids'
these
fiskars
only
or
cut
whatever.
paper, right?
These only
Those
cut
kind.
paper.
Not their
And
full
so
fingers.
basically they trace and they cut something out with that one. Here's another one. This one is learn scissor skills. And again, Melissa and Doug, scissor skills. And they give them all kinds of, now the thing with this one is they give them all kinds of colorful, cool things to cut out.
Which is
with their
built-in
scissors.
motivation.
So this might be, but you'll notice that they're straight lines that they're cutting. This is a little more complicated. You're getting into some curved lines. So you may want to start with something a little easier first. And then this one, learn scissor skills. Again, really cool, colorful little things to cut out. And when they're finished, let them glue them on a piece of paper and make their own picture.
Adorable. And then give it to Grandma Donna.
Grandma Donna, that's right.
So I
Make
have
pictures all
something
over my
really
house.
neat.
Okay.
That I think falls into the sensory category. These balls are from Reusable. Reusable is a company that uses natural rubber from India, and they have this coating, and it's kind of like a flocking. It's real velvety and soft, but it's also really, really durable. And if you've got a sensory kid that just likes that fidgety, touchy, repetitive
Exactly.
something, I mean, look at this. I just want to see if I can, how many fingers I can fit in these
I
holes.
have given a lot of these as gifts.
Now that one has more resistance. This one has a little more, almost like it's hollow inside.
This one's pretty rigid too.
Yeah, Rubbaboo,
Yeah.
R-U-B-B-A-B-U.
But they also make cars and trucks and all kinds of things. And
Animal
little
shapes.
vehicles. Oh, yeah. They have
It's a really
blocks.
cool company. And that velvet, you might think it's not durable, but it's actually really, really durable. It's a hand, wash it in the sink.
We gave Rubbaboo to a nephew, a great nephew of ours who has severe allergies. I was able to give this to him with no allergic reaction at all. And when I say severe, we're talking nut allergies and everything else. He had no reaction.
That's good to know. Because it is natural latex rubber.
Exactly.
So that's a really fun one.
Okay, and in the line of fine motor skills, there's always the Lori crepe puzzles. We had these in our preschool room when I taught preschool. I've started buying them for my grandkids, and I picked out the train because of my grandson. This would be a chew train at his house.
A chew train.
It's a chew train. This is one of the more difficult puzzles, but they're quiet play. They come in a tray like this, so you have a place to put the crepe background. Now, these are a little more challenging because they're not giving you the exact shape. This would be like working with tangrams almost. You have to figure out what goes where. This is one of the more difficult ones. So is this. It looks like we brought in a lot of more difficult ones.
They were also pretty.
And the butterfly, again, a little more difficult. They are graded for 3 and up.
Hey, look, there's a line.
There
an
are
outline.
lines underneath. As your child progresses, you take this out and you don't let them see it, and then they put it together without the mat down below.
I like when something goes from little to just a bit more challenging.
Exactly.
I think that's a nice way to grow
And
with them.
Lori does have easier puzzles. They've got alphabet
Yes,
puzzles.
they do.
They
I
have
picked some cute
perception
hard ones.
puzzles. So they do have easier ones for your younger ones, but these would be for a little more challenging for some of your kids.
I remember these from when I was in kindergarten, but look, even the wheel has a little bit of a challenge in putting
You
that
have to
little
figure
guy
out where
in
it
there.
goes. Exactly.
And it never fails. Kids put these in their mouth, but guess what? You can clean them off pretty easily.
That's what's nice about them. You can clean them.
So
Okay.
clean. I have something that's going to make parents either have a heart attack or they're going to be like,
Yes.
this is so cool. All right, Kinetic Sand. Don't freak out on me here, guys. Listen. Kinetic Sand, okay, I'm asking you to play with sand inside. However, Kinetic Sand, put it in like a 9x13 baking dish, something with a little bit of sides on it.
Or a plastic dish tub.
Something with some sides. I wouldn't use like a cookie sheet or even a jelly roll.
no.
I would put it something a little more sides because they're going to want to spread out. But this stuff packs. Give them some measuring cups, some,
Sand
kitchen
molds.
utensils. What?
Sand molds from your sandbox.
Oh, of course, your sandbox toys.
Bring the
yes.
sand indoors.
And this is going to keep them occupied for so long. They can seriously. Now, it would keep me occupied because this is the stuff where you pick it up and it kind of flows through your fingers.
Exactly.
It's mesmerizing. And now it comes in pretty colors. This is a pretty big, heavy bag. This is going to go pretty far. This is 5 pounds. There's little bitty ones. But
Oh, sure.
go big or go home. I mean, give them enough that they can do things with. And this is another one of those sensory center type things. You could put some coins in there for them to find.
Treasure hunt.
Little toy animals, toy dinosaurs. You
yeah.
could bury the little people in the sand and let them dig them around.
Oh.
Make sure their heads are sticking up.
Yeah, we did something like this when my kids were little. Only instead we didn't have kinetic sand back then. I used a dishpan. We used regular sand. I put a plastic tablecloth on the floor. Put the dishpan in the middle of it. Let them play. It wasn't.
just
The
clean it up
weather was
later.
nasty. Well, you
Yeah.
didn't have to clean it up. It was on a plastic tablecloth.
Oh, cool.
So when it was done, all done.
The kinetic sand, real quick. If you've got it spread out and make a ball of it, you can kind of.
Oh yeah, you can gather it up.
So
great
it's
stuff.
not like sand from the beach that gets all over.
Okay, and just for fun, and I don't know that this is sensory, but I would say in the educational realm, because this is ABCs, and
Yeah.
here we have.
It's a crossover.
We have medieval, we have animal, we have adventure. These come in all kinds of topics, and these have been a big hit, again, at our house. With the 3-year-old, because you just fill this little pin with water, plain old water.
No staining.
And then they
No
just,
mess.
and it's also what I like about it, this is the storage place for it. So when the water is out and you want to put it away, you put it back in here, close it back up. These are
Contained.
reusable pages, and you brush back and forth with the water.
And an
when you're
image
done,
appears.
you have
Yeah.
a color. Well, the image is there, but it gives you the color. It colors it for you. Let them dry,
Yeah.
start all over. But what's
Yeah.
really nice is on the back page, there will be, there are all kinds of little, on the back of each one, it will say, did you see or do you remember? Reveal these pictures as you color the scene, and they have you looking for very specific things. So they're like hidden pictures as well. So these are tons of fun, and I know when they run out of water at our house, we have to refill and start all over, but they do have to have time to dry in between.
And this is a good thing in the car. This is a good
Oh,
thing
it's
for
great.
a party. Just no mess. And I bet we have probably 30, 40 different.
Oh, I don't know if there's that
Themes?
many, but there's a lot of
There's
themes.
so many.
Yeah.
We take them to the
And
conventions.
again, Melissa and
Yeah.
Doug.
Melissa and Doug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and here's another Melissa and Doug, and you hear me talking a lot from personal experience. I love these.
Grandma.
We
Not a
actually
grandma.
we bought these several years ago for a family reunion because we knew there would be a lot of little kids there, and these are reusable
hold this.
stickers. That makes them the best. So in the front of it, you'll find sheets of stickers, all reusable. With different themes, and each packet is a different theme.
So here's my town.
And so
habitat.
behind the sticker pages, you have scenes where they can stick
Shiny.
that are laminated, so they can stick the stickers, take them off, restick them again. These are
Those
awesome.
are cool scenes
And
too.
the nice thing is, what we discovered, my grandson got tired of putting them on the scenes, and he started sticking them on my windows, and he started sticking them on the leather ottoman, all over the place.
On himself.
On himself,
Yeah.
they don't stick on kids.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then we could just peel them right off when he left. We left him
Okay.
until he left us. But these are awesome, and because you get so many pages in here,
That's a lot of stickers.
you get 5 different scenes and over 175 stickers. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So we just finished using ours up. They're finally gone. So these can last you. They work with a lot of different ages. Some kids are a little more creative in the way they lay things, but some kids just like to stick things. So these are
Yeah.
great.
Why are they so attracted to stickers? I don't know.
I don't know.
So I've got one last thing, and this is a game that builds and asks questions about emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And you know, this is a kind of a teachery thing. I think parents do this without calling it anything.
I think you're right.
You're just teaching your kids, right? But when you put your kids on the spot to answer these questions, boy, you really can see what they would do. They're almost like what would you do in this situation? Except the behavior isn't focused on your child. It's focused on this little monkey named Q, just the letter Q. And Q doesn't always make the best choices. So this is a board game, and it's really a quick play. It's not going to take forever. 3 colors of cards. There's a question about Q. There's a question about you, which is the kind of what would
Okay.
you do. And then there's a do card, like get up and do something. Get up and jump 5 times.
make
Get up.
you-
And they're very pre-K, kindergarten type skills. But in the context of playing this, I wrote the description for our catalog, and I brought in some of the grandkids that are around the office. And I'm telling you, the ones from like 3 years old to 7 years old could all play this together, and you really learn a lot about each other.
Oh, sure.
It was really well
So,
done.
if I didn't want to play the game, could I pull the cards out and just use the questions like dinner
Yeah,
time?
why not?
At dinner time, I could
Yeah.
pull, go, hey kids,
Yeah.
and then you throw out one of the topics.
Absolutely, absolutely.
more
It'd be a great morning. So something homeschoolers do that maybe classroom kids don't do are the morning baskets. And kids will go to their morning basket and pull out an activity. The cards would be a fun morning basket type thing, and they can be conversational. They can be
Sure.
something kind of artsy to color. It could be a little math problem, but it's kind of the same idea
journal
as the
topic?
bell ringer type things.
Oh, sure.
Like a let's get our day started. Let's go. Let's
Sure.
do this. So
Okay.
tons of stuff for your preschoolers. So don't think that just because they're little that they can't be learning during this time as well.
Exactly.